Okay, I think I'm having some camera issues. Am I having any voice issues? Am I having any voice issues? I am a voice issue. I am a voice issue. Okay, sorry, there might be some feedback. Let's just try this. Okay. Voice. Hello, my name is... Okay, you can also hear my husband as well. The loud seagull guy. Okay. So, what am I doing? I just want to spend some time painting. And I promised my nieces that I would paint their drawings. Sorry, I just want to take this off. I had my headphones on. I promised them that I would paint their drawings, and this was a long time ago. It was like the 7th of October or something. So I want to maybe do it now while I have some time, and my nieces are not in this video. They are not, unfortunately, anywhere near me or anything like that. They live in South Africa. If you can just hold on for a second. I just want to close my studio door. European people are loud. Okay, so it is the rugby right now. South Africa is playing Japan, and I got the time wrong because I forgot that the time changed and we're not in the same time, whatever. But Japan doesn't seem to be doing very well, so I'm safe. Oh no, touch wood. I'm safe to paint these two little drawings from my nieces. She had a very specific color palette for this one, and this is just an extra one that she sent. And my aim is just to paint, have some nice paint time, and I just want to find like real wood. Okay, here we go. Okay, I touched wood. I am not superstitious, but when it comes to the rugby, I am superstitious. And I just said now, oh, we're beating Japan, and I don't want to finish this live stream and start crying because we've lost the rugby. Yes, the rugby means that much to me. Okay, gonna have some fun, gonna just paint a little bit, gonna talk a little bit. If you, I don't know, wherever you are, whatever time it is, if this is something you want to join in, paint your own stuff, please feel free to do so. Obvious. Oh no, I see a message saying real, and I don't know if this person's watching the rugby and things started just going badly. You know, the one person I cannot watch rugby with, and unfortunately I have to, is my husband. He is a stress ball, and he makes the stressful moments worse. And it's quite funny because initially when the game starts, like he tells me, like, you know, don't shout too loud because of the neighbors and stuff. And by the end of it, this guy is shouting like he was born in South Africa. No, I'm not watching. Okay. 2 people disappointing South Africans around the world not watching the rugby. So this is for my niece, so I'm going to try and keep it in case she ever watches this video. Don't want to say any bad words. This is for my last, not my last niece, but the last born in that particular set. They come in sets. I actually think she might be the smallest baby, last born. And she is such a character. She is hilarious. So is her sister. And I love watching videos or getting videos about what they're doing. It always makes me laugh. I watch it way too many times. And I think that's one of my biggest regrets about not like living in South Africa or not being back home. It's just all the kids that I didn't watch to grow up, especially ones that I maybe had good relationships with or would probably have had good relationships with. In particular, like my cousins that I left behind that were much smaller than me. I had a good relationship with one of them as well. I'm not going to mention any names because, yeah, it was really difficult. And it still is difficult. It's not easy leaving the place you grow up in and come from, especially if you didn't really have any plans to leave, especially when you're close with your family. But I would say that's the most difficult thing. Otherwise, everything's great. Yeah. Oh God, that got sad very quickly. So she wanted her character or her drawing to be Peach. And I listened to her voice note, which was really sad and heartbreaking because she was sick. So she had this like super like crunchy voice. And at the end, her mom said, so Tammy can be creative. And she was like, no. No. So I'm not going to take creative license. I tried to get her drawing as close as possible to what she sent me. And yeah, I'm going to see what comes out. I used to do a little bit of art with my smaller cousins when I was back home. I used to really enjoy that. And like one of my best memories is making like a snowman. Obviously, we didn't have any snow with one of my little cousins. And I don't actually know if that's because I see somebody's here on the chat that I know. And if it is this person, I'm going to stop talking about it because it sounds so sad. But if it is you, like that's one of my favorite memories, man. We were playing with cotton wool and prut, and we made like a little painting. And I think I still have a picture of it somewhere. But if it's not you, then yeah. Okay. Yeah, then maybe it's not you. I don't know. Are you the middle one or are you the last one? Because there's a lot of cousins. Are you the last born or the middle born? Okay. Okay, what's the plan here? The plan is to get maybe all like base colors on, and then I'll try and maybe you're the last one. Yeah, it was with you, my little angel. I'll see if I can find the picture and I'll send it to you. Anyway, I'm going to try and get the base colors on, and then maybe I'll see if I can render it further. So the skirt is, okay, let's get it. The sun is yellow. Okay, that seems pretty obvious. She must have thought I was an idiot when I said, what color do you want me to make the stuff? She must have thought like, duh, the sun is yellow. Then the moon is blue. Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Jeez, my husband is so loud, and it feels like every time I do it, because while I'm doing a live stream, he's playing one of the games that he's got scheduled. He plays Dungeons and Dragons with like a group of South Africans also, because this man is obsessed with South Africa as much as I am. That sound that you're hearing now is from the neighbors upstairs. I don't know what they do. They have like a little, I don't know what it is, what's going on there. I've got a feeling that I'm going to send this through and she's going to say that moon is not blue because it looks quite purple. And I just want to impress her. Anyway, yeah, this guy sounds super loud. Maybe he is loud and I just normally don't pay attention. Okay, yeah, that looks a little bit more blue. That's cool. I was really sick yesterday actually because I was vaccinated. Okay, I'm ruining the moon now, that's fine. I got vaccinated the day before and I didn't expect to feel so sick, but it just kicked me on my butt, man. Like, really, like, and it was so intense and it was just for a few hours. I guess that's how vaccines work, but I was quite surprised. I don't have grey. I'm going to have to make grey, which is simple. You just mix black and white, but I do have grey. Just really lazy. I hope this grey works with the colors, though. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I think the worst thing that could happen is I could paint this and she could say, why did you make it so ugly? Yeah. There's one thing about children. Children are honest. They'll say what they mean. And it's always, I love it, by the way. Obviously, and there's a way to handle children who maybe say things that aren't polite, right? And I don't mean handle them as in punish them. I mean, like some people get very uncomfortable here in Poland when their children maybe point at me or say something that they consider rude. And like, that's not the way to go about it. Like, you just tell your children, yeah, some people are different, they look different. In South Africa, we don't really have that problem, though. We know what multiple races look like. And that's why you should visit South Africa, not sponsored by the government. Once I was in the elevator, and this little kid said to his granny, why does this lady have such a big bum? But he said like, Zadujo pupa. And it was so funny. I was just, oh no, I made a mistake. The skirt is, oh no, I didn't. It's black and grey. And the granny was so mortified. I found it hilarious. And I just wish she would have said, some people just have big bums, bro. But instead she shouted at him. And I was like, don't shout at him. He's just a kid. And he's asking like a legitimate question. He's not asking a stupid question. Like, why is my bum so big? That's a good question. Yeah. This is, so I love acrylic painting. And I've been doing it for many years. I would say acrylic is my favorite medium to use. And it, I don't know, it's just so forgiving and yeah, I say it's my favorite medium and I'm not telling you why, but just mainly it's just, I think it's more accessible than other paints. It's not the most expensive one. It's readily available. Like I even used to paint with acrylics in South Africa. It wasn't something I had to go to a specialist store. But oh, why was I telling you this? Oh yeah, no matter how long I've been painting with it, I still get a little bit like freaked out by the ugly stage. And I also love the ugly stage because it's kind of like, look how this thing, oh, I made the shoes the wrong color. Okay, I can paint over it because it's acrylic paint. She wants one shoe to be purple and the other shoe to be pink. Yeah. Okay. What's happening? I'm gonna let this dry. What color is her hair? Her hair is black, so I'm gonna take some. Oh no, she said I can't take artistic license. Okay, I'm just still gonna use this blue. I will make it black, but I just want to use blue first, just to, so I don't get lost. And I think I'm gonna like. What I really loved about my niece is both her drawings. Like she has a style almost, like her heads are like flat at the top, like a semicircle. and the hair goes like around the head, and I love that. I'm gonna probably steal it from her. But also, I don't want her to like see it and say like, "You're so stupid, Tamara." She wouldn't say that. I wanted the hair to be like in the back as well. So I don't know which one to do, man. I'm really, really concerned about her opinion and whether she likes this or not. Probably one of the few opinions that I'm concerned about. Yeah. I was also thinking like I set the thumbnail and I'm like saying my niece. And I know that in New York recently there's been a lot of commotion, a lot of hoo-ha. I think I'm making the hair too long now. About one of the mayoral candidates, Zoran Mamdani, saying, telling a story and saying his aunt. And then it came out, and I'm using the word came out like this, inverted commas, that his aunt was his dad's cousin. And now it's like, that's not an aunt, blah, blah, blah. You know, people just looking for BS. And these kids, the kids that I'm saying are my nieces, are my cousin's kids. My brother, the only sibling I have, doesn't have kids that I know of. And I would be heartbroken and probably choked to death on my tears if I heard that, like, my nieces didn't consider me to be their aunt. Like, I am their aunt. There's no two ways about it. Just like how my dad's cousins are my aunts and uncles. Like, it's so weird. I don't understand why this needs to be explained. And me, myself, I've had this same kind of thing. Like, someone once said to me, now that I probably know better, in a mocking way, like, oh, you have so many aunts and uncles. And I was like, yeah, my dad had like 5 siblings, and so did my mother. And also, what about all my parents' cousins? Oh, that's not your aunt. That's your, I don't even know what they said, second cousin or third cousin, 5 twice removed. Okay, like if that's what gets you through your life, if that what makes you feel connected and gives you, I don't know, zest for life, then great. You know, we have really complex naming systems for our family as well. Like, you don't just say, like, we have like who your mother's biggest sister is. She has a different name compared to your mother's smaller sister, compared to your father's side. Like, all of those naming things exist. Some of them get lost, especially when families get westernized, or if they lose sight of, willingly or unwillingly, of their cultures. And that's okay, right? It's just about learning about what different, like, for example, my grandparents, their brothers and sisters, we don't call them great aunts or great uncles. We call them granny and grandfather. That's my granny, that's my grandfather. And if that's not how it works for you, that's great. But it's not for you to kind of invalidate or kind of look at with derision what other people's cultures consider to be family. So yeah, it's very interesting how it's played out. And I think it also shows, like, I grew up in a very multicultural, I grew up in South Africa, if you didn't know. But Lenasia South itself is the place that I grew up in. Like, I had Hindu people as neighbors, Muslim people as neighbors. Like, the places where I worked, there were Jewish people. There were, and I'm talking about religion now, I'm not talking about race. Racial composition is a little bit more complex in South Africa because during apartheid, people were separated by races and made to live in particular areas where only that race group lived. That doesn't mean we didn't mix. Like, Look at my family. Oh, we mixed. But I find it so difficult to understand, like, how people don't know about other religions, other cultures. And I get that, to me, it shows opportunity, that you didn't have the opportunity to grow up with other people, but also that you lack, this sounds very accusatory. That's the word. I just want to pause for a second. I want to take stock. Okay, she wanted sky blue eyes. It shows a lack of curiosity. At some point, like, I didn't really grow up with any Buddhists. I think like one girl in school, like her parents were Buddhists or something. So I had to go and learn about it on my own. I had to read books. I had to look at the internet. Like, I grew up in a like proper Christian Pentecostal household. So it's not like, I don't know, I grew up as I don't know how to explain it, like some like a household where it's like, oh yeah, you will learn about every religion by default. No, like our main religion, the main thing I learned was Christianity, but my parents didn't stop me from learning. My grandfather, who's passed away now, was a very very curious and open man when it came to religion. And I think that passed on to my mother. And my father was always willing for me to learn because he thought it would strengthen my faith. But when you learn all of these things about these different religions and cultures, you can only, and I think Zoran Mamdani himself said this, but it's something I always tell my husband. Like, you can't hate people that you're friends with. When you're friends with somebody, and I mean real friends, not whatever, not people who think they're friends but they're not. When you make friends with somebody and you really have communion with them, you care about them, you eat the same food, or you're willing to eat the same food or be in the same places, you respect each other's religions and cultures and choices. And obviously, we need to understand that, like, when I say respect their choices, I immediately like hear this like loud voice. Oh yeah, but like you shouldn't respect the killing of animals, as an example. And I'm like, yeah, but doesn't matter what religion you are. Like, it's got nothing to do with religion. Like, I feel people have such a misunderstanding of religions and they want to have like strong opinions about them. Anyway, shut up. Keep to the point, Tamara. When you really get to know people, I find it much harder, or I think you will find it much harder to hate them or misunderstand them on purpose or with bad faith. Muslim people do a lot of good in my community where I come from, and so do Christian people, and so do Hindu people. And the only place that I was taught to dislike or hate these people or like don't mix with them was when we joined a church that was literally a cult. But before that, nothing. In school, I mean, my family is, I have a lot of Hindu family. But in school, we sit next to each other. We fight with each other, not about religion, but sometimes about religion. But about stupid things, who farted in the class? Was it you? Was it you? This looks hectic. I don't think she intended the cheeks to be like that. I think I'm just trying to like add some dimension now, and I think I made it look a little bit off. Also, I think I may be misunderstanding the eyes. She asked for sky blue eyes, and these are blue. What am I not understanding here when I look at this? Oh, is this blue? And then the whole thing was maybe black in her mind. Let's try that. What would that do though? Wouldn't it be reversing these? You know what, if she doesn't like it, she can tell me, Tamara, you're an idiot. You're no longer my auntie. redo this? And I would say, okay. They would never do that. My nieces are just sweet as pie, very respectful, very... I listened to a message of my niece the other day, telling her mother, you worked hard today, and like basically dividing the labor in the house, but not dividing the labor by gender. She was dividing it by who had a hard day that day. So she's actually cognizant of like the fact that like house labor is not just her mother's problem. And I love that. That's how we need to roll for the next generation. Okay, I have this like big, it's 250 ml. It's so heavy. This is a big black paint. This is a smaller one. I shouldn't open this now, probably. I should try and like get everything out of this. Come on. Yeah. Good job. Yeah, so that was my lecture. I didn't mean for it to be a lecture. I just really don't understand. I think when I watch the news, when I hear people talk, when I like even people that I consider acquaintances, so not just people off the internet, like just have real like ignorance about other cultures, but also unawareness of the ignorance and no curiosity. Yeah, makes me kind of sad. Whoops. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I don't know if this is a good painting, you know. I feel, what is a good painting? This is a discussion that I was having the other day. I'm going to talk about it here. Like a good painting is a painting that expresses yourself or that like achieves the objective. So the objective here for me is to, number one, paint this drawing for my niece. Number two, like make some art right now. And I mean, number three, which I have no control over, is hopefully that she looks at it and doesn't think that I'm an idiot. But usually the point of art, and maybe even now, this is about like self-expression. So I feel that all art is about self-expression, or at least most of it. And how do you judge whether that's been successful or not? I can't. Only you can. Only you can judge whether the thing meets your need, whether you feel thoroughly expressed. You know, like a sponge, the thing that you use to wash dishes with that holds water, sponge, that's what it's called. Only you can decide whether you, because you're the sponge, whether you've squeezed out all that water or the amount of water that you need to or needed to. Nobody else can decide that. So in terms of that, like I feel my art is always successful. Or more, if it's not successful, that's when I'm just unhappy with what I do, or just unhappy in general as an artist. When I'm not expressing myself enough and just doing other things. That being said, I do have good art, bad art, and average art. And that's what I was speaking about when I looked at Cocktober. And it is important to me to look at my art and say, this was bad, this was good, this was average. Not because I'm putting myself down or because I have some ranking or I'm comparing myself to other people. No, I'm comparing myself to myself. How else do I grow? How else do I grow my skills? If I paint something and I say, yeah, well, okay, like that's it. I don't rank my art. I don't judge my art, or whatever the word is that you're going to use. Like, okay, great. But how are you going to grow? How are you going to see what needs to be done next? How do you know if the painting is successful if you just paint it and then like walk away and block your ears and eyes? Maybe that's not your goal. Great. Am I still here? Am I still painting? What happened? There was like a flash of light in my eyes. Am I dying? Am I dead? Oh, let me quickly say prayers. Oh, Jesus, please. Did I make a sin here quickly before I died? Am I dead? Is my live stream still on? No, I can still hear my husband. I can't be dead. Maybe it's hell. One of the shoes is pink. Did you see it too? It was like a flash of light, right? Oh my God, maybe it was an alien. No, I'm not going to say that on a live stream. I have a secret about aliens, but I can't tell you. So if you paint and your only objective is to self-express and you feel that no matter how you do it, no matter what your skill or your technique, that it is done, then great, that's good for you. Then there's no point in you saying, oh, like what I made was average or whatever. But if you need your skills to improve in order to express yourself in the way you want to, so for example, in order for me to paint, I don't know, you've seen all the paintings in this particular thing. I don't even have a sketchbook close at hand. Does it matter? Do I need to show you what I'm talking about? I do, because I am a fool. And I know that I'm painting this and I'm going a bit off topic here, but in order for me to like paint and make the things that I want to paint and to do like the research that I want to do and just express myself the way I want to, I have to improve my skills. I have to be able to do this. I have to be able to do this and say, oh, this was ugly. This didn't work for me. This is not what I want in my art. Yes, I expressed myself because it says we hate the popo. I hate the popo for show, but this is not what I want. And if I don't look at it and analyze it, I'm not going to grow and I'm not going to get to this, which I love. And it's not about judging my art in a way and saying this is average and this is shitty just to like be down on myself. It's really to grow. I think I'm making the point too often. I just saw that now you are live and I'm here on your grandmother's internet. I'm making the whole world South African. That's something a South African would say. Hi, Rina. Ling Ling, you be respectful because Auntie Rina is on this chat. I'm just warning some of the people on here, Auntie Rina. They've got issues, these children. Yeah, oh, for real, yes. Auntie Rina is not playing games. She'll come for you. Rina, I'm using you to threaten children in South Africa. Well, not children, teenagers. Okay. Is this purple? I guess this is purple. Okay, we'll look at it now. She wanted the sun yellow, the moon blue. She wanted the shirt gray. She wanted this black and gray. And she said specifically she does not want white in the skirt. She wants the eyes blue, purple, pink. She wants the background red. Okay, maybe let's just try and get the background in red or pink. I'm scared to take artistic license with this child because she will give me feedback. Oh no, I mixed black in there. Oof. Okay, maybe I can just get this color in. Don't think I want to make it like just this like big bright red though, so there's just a way I can tone it down. the other day I got really like shocked by something or upset by something. And it was so funny because at some point, like Michal told me to stop because he needed to like just process what I was saying. But what I was basically saying was like somebody was acting like they paid my school fees. And that's kind of like another thing, like, hello, my grandmother's internet. Like someone's acting like they paid your school fees. That's when somebody talks to you like anyhow. Or like disrespectfully, almost. Okay, now this is getting into scary territory. Because there's a lot like... I don't mean what I'm talking about. I mean the painting. Because there's a lot of like edges and small stuff here. Okay, let's just go. I didn't think about this. What's on the other side? Oh, SpongeBob. Okay, I need to get this to this kid, I guess, but she'll just have to deal with SpongeBob on the back when I take it out. Oh, it was Halloween. Ling Ling, did you do anything for Halloween? And Rina, is Halloween like big there in California? I assume it is. Should I say Happy Halloween? Is that the terminology? Nah, I was just... Ling Ling, are you using slang here? I was just okay or ugly. What does ak mean? I was just ach yeah. Oh, ach yeah. Oh. It is big. Kids and adults have Halloween parties. That sounds awesome. Yeah, happy Halloween. I like Halloween. Okay, I am just painting this all red now. It's quite red. You know. Oh. Okay, so UK means you know. Oh, okay. Am I showing my age now? Yeah, I would assume so. The wildfires, Serena says in California, they're still grieving the fires of this year. Those were unbelievable. We were watching in horror, and I'm sorry, I don't think I checked in on you though, Rena. I'm sorry about that. I think there's a part of me that didn't want to even believe that what was happening was true. Ooh, that's nice. Day of the Dead. Rena says that they do Day of the Dead because of the Latino people there. I can't say it. I know it's Dios. I can't speak Spanish, guys. I am practically Latino. In your dreams, bro. You are 150%. You are 150% sabusa, okay? If you go... No, I can't roast you. I don't want to roast you on the internet. You know, when I was younger, and I say younger, not that young, and people, whoops, I'm so sorry, I hit the whole camera off here. I hope that's straight now. Anyway, people would really, you know, South Indian surnames are always a problem for certain people to pronounce. And they would really struggle with my surname, but in a way that it was my problem, right? That my surname was like, that they had to spend time learning it. And then they would ask me in a really irritated way, like, so like, what kind of surname is this? And I would say it's Portuguese, because the amount of shock in their eyes where I would say it was Portuguese, and then the amount of like change towards what I was telling them, it was always so funny because somehow when it was Portuguese instead of South Indian, it suddenly became a little bit like easier almost for them to digest. But yeah, my surname's South Indian. I'm South African of Indian origin, which is very hard for lots of people to understand in this country. So I got vaccinated again. I'm saying again, mine is French. Yeah, your surname actually is French. Um, I don't want to say your surname on the internet though, because I don't know like if you're okay with that. So what I will say is a surname like Sansusi is a surname that a lot of like some people of color have in South Africa. And you're okay with it. Okay, so Chirlin, or I guess that's not how you say it in French. It's probably like a Chalon or something. And the reason why we have those surnames is because, yes, some people did come from like a Creole colonies, but also the people who owned indentured labor camps or farms where they had us in servitude as slaves would give their surnames to the people that they enslaved. So I'm not saying that's the root of your surname, Chillen. Okay, I'm going to ignore that comment. 12%. I think it's interesting, though, how that happened and where it comes from. Yeah, which 12%? The 12% that's blowing up this chat here and colonizing it. No one's going to watch the stream, bro. So I can say what I want now. Oh, that's so interesting, Rina. It's such a weird, like, not even weird. The history of surnames and stuff is just like, especially where it depends where you grow up, or like, I think in India it's a little bit less painful. But like my surname, that used the 12% chat speaking in English. This chat. Like Sagadevan is not my surname. It wasn't my surname originally, but like there's two stories about it. And one story is that my great grandfather like changed it willingly and went, and he was a bit of a rebel and said, I don't want my surname to be this, I want my surname to be Sagadevan. But then the other story, which I guess is a little bit more true and is probably what happened, is during those times, during apartheid and pre-apartheid, these names were too difficult for the administrators. And I say too difficult in inverted commas. They just weren't interested in writing down the correct surnames. So they would just write down your father's name as your surname. And my great-great-grandfather's, my great-great-grandfather's name was, or great-great, whatever. It was Sagadevan. Actually, no. His surname was Pandaram, but all his children, became Sagadevans. But I don't really fully know the story there. I don't know which story is true. But on the other side, like my dad's mom's side, and they have a different racial makeup on that side. What they used to do to the families is if you were born, and I will tell the story again, so if anybody doesn't hear it on this live, I will never stop talking about it. During apartheid, they would, if you were born in October, they would give you the surname October. They would just not care. So if you were born in January, and just say your father's surname was Johnson, they did not care. Or if it was something that was too exotic for them, they would literally just change your surname. So there's a lot of people in South Africa, and even like I said, in some of my family, where they have just the months of the year as their surname. Yeah. And like, so Rena is saying, like, my last name exists in Scotland, and I was shocked. And she had to dig in and ask around, and then she saw that Sanskrit was butchered by the British, of course, and the Portuguese and British also did it to South Indian names. In South Africa, we tend to forget sometimes that the Portuguese people were also a part of colonization efforts, because we got Nando's. We kind of forget, but yeah. I'm gonna have to add some darker, some purple to this hair, because I've just made it like a big black sponge now. And also I want to make some doodles to the background. I hope it still looks like a kid kind of did it. Oh, freckles. Jeez, this kid had loads of freckles. And then maybe I'll use my Posca pens to kind of just what happened in the US was something else. Surname was Bankman, was hit by the British, and I lost track. Yeah. Like, I think a lot of people feel very attacked when they hear about colonization. I mean, we don't, but the people who feel somehow as if we're trying to make them responsible for it. But I think what they also fail to realize is the impact that it has on us. Even now, like, we're sitting here in the year 2025, and there's pieces of like our heritage or even our surnames that we just don't have. Not because we kind of just like we decided to change it. It's not that. Like, there were people who just literally had it taken away from them. The story of like naming children in the months they were born in, it's so dehumanizing. And these things didn't happen a long time ago. Like, I've got family alive. Me, myself, I was born during apartheid. I will never stop talking about apartheid. Someone will have to pay me a lot of money. 5 million, billion, trillion, gazillion. And I still won't stop talking about it. So yeah, I just wish that people would maybe stop feeling so attacked and just actually understand the impact that it has on people. Heritage and culture and ancestry is very important. And yet some of us don't even have the correct spelling of our surnames because it was just too difficult for somebody. So yeah, I'm going to tell the story. Like, no, Rena, like for you, so South Africa, so Rena says, I was born in October. They would have named me October. So South Africa had a very like structured racial system. And we have another race group in South Africa, and it's called colored. And that race group is anybody that is not Indian, Chinese, white, etc. So if an Indian person and a black person had a baby, that baby would be classified as colored. Or an Indian person and someone because also colored people, there were native people in South Africa that existed before we were colonized. They were referred to as colored, and they were put into this group. So October, July, January, those surnames were given to colored people mostly. So I've got a lot of colored family. Like my grandmother, her mother was colored. So they will have those. But for Indian people, they would get their father's first names. So it's like I wrote the name down once, I'm not going to write it again. Or they would get whatever like surname they wanted. So they had special ways to, I'm going to say, to F with people. I just realized my nieces are going to be watching this maybe. shouldn't be swearing um, based on your skin color. I find that people who are like racist or hateful, like I sometimes wish that they wouldn't be so, because they have so much of energy and creative ideas. They would just be so much better like doing art or something, you know? Like instead of making making life hard for everybody, why don't you go make some art? I don't know, go make a new kind of sausage or something. But instead, they put it to other use. I think the world would be so much better if they just decided, hey, uh, with this energy, I'm just gonna give her some. I don't know if this is a good look for her, but this actually took a long time to paint. And like again, I don't know if it's good art, but I hope it like reaches her. And I don't mean good art because of the way it looks. I mean the way I've decided to render it. But I hope that she likes it. Again, she could just tell me I'm an idiot. Okay, so what I want to do is that's like kind of drawing. I just want to take. I just want to. Oi, Jesus, have mercy. I just want to put some. I don't know. I don't know what the word is. Some pizzazz, I guess. I'm just gonna draw hearts, right? Is that like sexist? Like little girls like hearts? Like she did have hearts here, so I guess it is about gendered, but that's okay. She's gonna tell me if she doesn't like it. Maybe I should do blue actually, or like a contrasting color. I don't know, this guy is just sending worried faces here. I don't know what that emoji means. I'm very interested to see what happens with this election in New York. I think it's just so nice to hear like young people talking in like connecting with other people, you know, like obviously I know that maybe not every policy will come to fruition, although I don't see why not, because it is possible. But yeah, man, I'm just really excited to see what happens. I hope that the election, like, I shouldn't really have a opinion, I guess. I don't know on American politics. I think I should though, because American politics affects the entire world. But I hope Zoran wins. I'm very interested in seeing how that works for New York. So yeah, we'll see. He's giving me hope, you know, like listening to him talk and stuff. It's kind of like this old, like, yes, we can era. And I know that not like everything's perfect or whatever, but yeah. Yeah, I can have an opinion, but you know, sometimes people are like, so if American politics didn't affect the world so much, I guess I'd be less entitled. But America really matters, man, as everybody knows, in terms of the political landscape. So yeah. Mine is Seth. Yeah, that's really cool. My cousins are named after their dad. I think Ethan. I don't know. I'm not named after my dad. I'm not named after anybody. My parents gave me this name because they wanted life to be easier for me in South Africa. I'm going to put some gray in her skirt. And, if my niece doesn't like it, I can just take it out. I'm so concerned with her opinion. It's actually scary. Is this what it is like for people who do art that are concerned by other people's opinions? Like, I just feel she's going to come back and tell me she hates me. It should be funny because I would be crying. Yep, this is how it is. I'm just hoping for the best, man, for that election. It's just giving me life listening to this guy talking. I have watched almost all of the talks. I've been a big fan of Bernie Sanders for years, of course. So it's just where I come from, I guess. Yeah, it really hurts me to see like the vulnerable people of the country. And I'm not saying that the vulnerable people of like America or elsewhere like didn't have it hard before. I think this is part of the reason people are seeing it. But like, I don't know, man. Like I saw some town hall. Unfortunately, I consume a lot of American politics. I try not to. Like sometimes when I'm a little bit too tired. But I saw a town hall where someone was asking their constituents, do you want a 28-year-old who's sitting at home to pay for his healthcare? And they unequivocally said, yeah, like, why not? And that really like made me cry actually, because I guess in a world like where it's kind of, maybe it's like every person for themselves. Like I can't wait to see this come back where it's like more community based, Like this is something I really learned at home, and I don't know if it's a South African thing or whatever, but like you can't be comfortable when your neighbors are suffering. Like, sure you can, but can you really? Young people, I just saw here like your chom. So Rina, chommy means friend, just by the way. And Ling Ling is saying like your friend knows what's up. And I think in young people speak, that means you are the bomb, Rina. Okay, I'm gonna put, why did I put this color in here? That's the wrong color. Maybe this one? Oh no, I'm making these eyes look. Okay, this is the best I can do. I will let you know. I'll do this one in my own time. I'll let you know what my niece thinks. Again, she's quite honest and she's quite forthcoming with her opinion. And then the other ones asked me, because I have many nieces, but she asked me, and I don't know where it is now. She asked me to draw a giraffe with pink spots and purple hooves. So I want to do that for her too. I don't want to just look after the little baby, because the middle babies deserve love too. The middle babies sometimes are the problem babies, but this one is not a problem baby. She's just such a sweet angel. She's so hilarious. I love her. Yeah, exactly. It's not comfortable when people are suffering and we just want to help. Like I just don't get it. Like I really don't understand when your neighbor is, maybe it's also like Ubuntu, which is like a big thing for us, but like, what I feel, and I'm ending with this, hopefully, is sometimes people have hard lives and they feel that it's okay, or it's somehow better that their lives are hard if other people are having it harder than them. Like, it kind of comforts them that somebody else is suffering more. And that's not kind of my experience of life at all. In fact, to me, that's like just, ugh, I don't know. But I can see that, yeah, young people are voicing their words and teaching us what it needs to be. And I can't wait to see what it is when like the next group of like compassionate people, people who want to take care of people, like get into power, like get out there. Also, hopefully one day, like South Africa in itself, I hope that it's not so racially defined, because my hope when I was growing up, when apartheid fell, and then we were growing up, was that my brother, I thought I'm experiencing all of this stuff at work. Apartheid fell. My father thought it would be better for me, and it is better for me, but it isn't okay. I experienced lots of racism in the workplace, beyond racism in some points. And I thought, for my brother, it won't be the same. And that's not true, because my brother is experiencing the same, if not similar things to what I did. I'm not saying in the workplace he's in now, but in the workplaces he's been in. So then I think maybe not my brother, maybe my cousins, maybe my nieces. And I think it is getting better, like things are more integrated. But also, freedom is not just freedom legally. Freedom is also economic freedom. So I'm really hoping that economically there'll be some more freedom. And I hope that the new generation, unfortunately, we're sorry, we didn't take you all the way there. But yeah, hopefully you'll take yourselves the rest of the way. Okay, thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching this. Oh my God, it was so long. I don't even remember what I spoke about, but I just know that I spoke a lot. And thank you for everybody. Like, I forgive you. Thank you so much for forgiving me. Thank you. I'm just going to mention like Ling Ling and Rina, you guys stayed, and especially Ling Ling, I know you had some rugby to watch and you didn't. But thank you. And thank you, Rina, for sharing all your experiences and the history with your surname and colonization. I really appreciate that. And my goal for myself and for all the things I do is to keep on talking about this. Like I said, I will never shut up about apartheid, and I want to just keep on talking about stuff that makes people uncomfortable, not for the sake of making them uncomfortable, but because if I don't talk about it, then who's going to talk about it? Like I want to start using my platform to talk about the things that are important to me, that affect people like me. So yeah, this is my little niece's drawing. I don't know what her name is, but yeah. Have a good weekend. Goodbye. I love you guys. Oh God.